and correct tension of textile are required. The material is then carefully laid down on the cutting table, ready for cutting into the different boot components. The components are cut using clicking knives. The cut components are carefully marked with a color that denotes the size. The cut uppers are then sorted out carefully for defects like color differences, scorched particles, blisters, rough edges and surfaces. Leg linings are cut using bandsaws, which requires a high degree of skill from the operator. The cut components must now go through another stringent quality control check before being used. The selected components then go through the numerous processes in the preparation department. A cement compound is applied to specific margins along the edges of the components. Great care is taken at this stage to ensure no dried cement particles are left on the components. The components are then left to dry on trolleys for 4 hours before being combined with other components to form the boot. Some components require 2 or even 3 coats of cement. Some components require combining of several rubber subcomponents. The operator has to be especially careful to keep the cement pads used very clean and make sure all air trapped between the layers is squeezed out. When combining, the operator needs to ensure that components are placed in line with the center marking, otherwise the finished boot will be warped. She must also place the components carefully in the same place as the previous components, otherwise she may get cement marks on the component back. It's a relatively simple job, but one which requires a high degree of dedication to quality. Other components need to be stitched together. To build a quality boot, the stitching is stitched together. To build a quality boot, the stitching should not be too loose, too tight, should have an even seam, and should be cleanly cut of excess thread. Some soles need to be individually molded. Others need spikes to be molded into them.